Hello everyone, welcome to this week's market analysis video with me, Frankie, your market analyst at Markets4U. Today, I'll cover key data and which pairs to watch from June 17th to June 21st, 2024. As you can see, I've already shared my screen. I'm using the economic calendar from the traders room at Markets4U. I've set the dates from June 17th to 21st, covering Monday to Friday. Just a reminder, I'm using GMT, so please adjust to your respective time zone. Now, let's go over this week's market events. On Monday, we have the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index announced from the US. On Tuesday, we will have the Reserve Bank of Australia will announce its interest rate decision, which forecasted to remain at 4.35%. Meanwhile, we will also have the US retail sales, industrial production. From Japan, we will have balance of trade, which in some time zone will be on Wednesday morning. This data is important as negative result will show a bad condition for Japan's economy. On Wednesday, we will have UK inflation data, which this will important and affected the bust pair, forecasted at 1.9% from previous 2.3%. Then from New Zealand, which in some time zone will be on Thursday morning, we will have GDP growth rate for Q1. On Thursday, Bank of England will decide its interest rate, which is forecasted to remain at 5.25%. Meanwhile, some data from the US will also need to be aware, such as US building permits, housing starts, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, and initial jobless claims. From Japan, inflation rate will be released, which is forecasted at 2.5%, unchanged from previous 2.5%, showing that the Japan's economy still not changed from last year. On Friday, retail sales from the UK and Canada will be released, while Canada's PPI also will be released along with USCB leading index and existing home sales. For this week, the key events to watch are the RBA and Bank of England's rate decision. Now, let's move to the charts for this week. Okay, now let's move to the technical analysis. Today, I'm going to discuss two pairs that will be most affected by this week's main events. The first one is pound sterling to US dollar, as this week we have the Bank of England announcing their interest rate decisions, and I'm also going to discuss gold, as it will be significantly affected by US economic data, such as retail sales. Okay, now let's look at the weekly chart of pound sterling to US dollar. You can see that the market has been moving higher over the past few weeks. However, the stochastic is moving lower and is trying to exit the overbought area. The candlestick pattern suggests a potential reversal, as there are higher highs but also lower lows, indicating consolidation. The last candle shows that sellers are entering and trying to take control of the market. Therefore, I expect pound sterling to US dollar might move a bit lower, depending on the market's reaction to the Bank of England's decision. Let's switch to the daily chart. The last candle on the daily chart is attempting to engulf the previous candles but hasn't succeeded. This suggests that pound sterling to US dollar might consolidate in the next few days before the Bank of England's decision. The price is already moving slightly lower towards my support level at 1.2632, which is based on the high from May 3, 2024. The next support level is at 1.2516, the low from May 14, 2024. I'm also setting resistance levels at 1.2731, based on this level, and at 1.2859, the last high. The stochastic is moving lower, nearing the oversold area, so I expect the market might eventually move lower and test or break the support levels, depending on the Bank of England's rate decision. For the second technical analysis, let's switch to the gold price chart. The gold price is consolidating after a downward move over the past 2 weeks. Recently, it has moved higher and engulfed the previous week's candle. Despite this upward move, the stochastic is moving lower and widening, indicating potential for continued downside. I expect some consolidation this week, with the price eventually moving lower. Switching to the daily chart, you can see that it has been consolidating for the past few days. The stochastic on the daily chart is moving higher from the oversold area, suggesting that gold might move higher in the short term, even though it is currently held by the 20-period moving average. I'm expecting the gold price to reach my resistance levels at 2,356 and 2,396 before potentially moving lower again. I've set my support levels at 2276 and 2233. So, for this week's technical analysis, I expect some initial upward movement in gold before it moves back down. That's it for this week's technical analysis. See you in the next analysis video.